Urge to kill. Fading. 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 Rising! Fading. Fading. God.
Hello, mysterious person behind the screen. So, we're at the end of another series of Doctor Who. It's that time again. With the Doctor Falls, and I'm not going to lie, I thought this episode was absolutely incredible. I love this. I think this is one of the best episodes of Doctor Who we've had in years. It's probably my favourite of Series 10. It's got everything to me. It's got amazing performances. It's well directed. It's particularly well directed. It's got good music from Murray Gold. It's got good writing for a change. And although there was some not so good parts, watching it again, I love it even more. I just think this episode is incredible. So let's delve into why. I just think this episode closed off everything really, really well. Everything's sort of obviously it ends on a cliffhanger, but everything that needed to be resolved has been resolved, and it's all tied up and nice. And obviously it ends on the cliffhanger. More on that later, of course, because we've got a lot to talk about there. But all the main story arcs of this series, all the main character arcs, were closed off really nicely in a very satisfying ending. Let's talk about the endings to the characters. Missy, Missy and the Master got killed each other, which is, I don't know, it's good. There's got to be something more to that though, because Missy, the Master always comes back. That can't be the end of the Master in Doctor Who. The Master can't be dead. So I don't know. It's a cool end for Michelle Gomez's version of the character, because that means that's it. She's dead. She'll probably come back for a multi-Master story somewhere down the line. But for the moment, that's it. Put a pin in that. She's dead, which is good. John Sim, he went off, which presumably it does fit up with Death in Heaven because they can't remember. Missy says she's hazy on the regeneration thing. Makes sense, because if he staggers to his TARDIS, gets in his TARDIS, regenerates then flies off, as soon as he flies off, his memories go, as established in Day of the Doctor. When the Doctors meet, or the Time Lord meets a previous or future version of himself, as soon as they leave in a TARDIS, their memories erased because the timelines are out of sync. So his memory's gone. Hence why she says she's hazy on the regeneration thing, because she doesn't remember it, because his memory has gone. Then he lands in 2014, St. Paul's Cathedral, in the Series 8 finale, as Michelle Gomez. Actually fits up really well. I'll talk more about those characters and the role they had in this episode later on. But Nardo's ending, yeah, that was good. It wasn't overblown. It was the last thing he said to Bill and the Doctor was really nice. You got the sense of their friendship, especially with the Doctor. And I was quite sad to see him go. And then at the end, he's actually got quite a happy life with Hazran. So, you know, Nardole is he's having a good time. iPad ran out of memory, so what was I saying? Yeah, Nardole's having a good time. Right, the best to last. Bill's ending. I was really worried as soon as what was that? As soon as we saw a lion on the ground, I immediately thought, he's done it. He's actually reversed the amazing ending we got last week, yet again. For God's sake, I was very annoyed. Then I realised it was a cool visual, an artistic choice to show her as herself to establish the audience's connection to her, but everyone else sees her as a Cyberman. You kept flipping between the two in certain shots and stuff. That was a really cool visual and thematic thing. And then the ending ties right back into the pilot. the feels are real. Heather comes out. Bill and Heather kiss. Which, to be honest, I'm surprised they didn't do in the pilot. I was surprised they didn't. Did they kiss in the pilot? I can't remember now, but I don't think they did. And they did it, and they're finally together, like they've always wanted to be. And they go off in the TARDIS. They don't take a TARDIS. Clara, mate. Sorry, sore throat. They didn't take a TARDIS. They're going off, and now Bill is one of Heather's species, I guess. I don't really know what it is. And they're off seeing the universe together, and they're happy. What a nice ending. What a really goddamn nice ending. That, like, makes sense. That was a good character ending. And people say, oh, it's just like Clara's. How can you like Bill's but not Clara's? Well, Clara's used something that we had only established in that story to go off and have her still living. Bill's has her still living, but uses something we established earlier on in the series and built a connection to in episode 1, the pilot. And we built a connection to Bill by this point anyway. So to see Bill and Heather get together means something. And they're going off, and it makes the audience happy. Because in episode 1, that's all they wanted. They wanted to be together. So, you know, it's a win-win. And it was a really nice ending. And if that's it for Bill, well, it is it for Bill, isn't it? I'm really sad to see her go, because she had a really good run. And I'm really sad to see her go, but at the same time, what was going on with my right eye then? Yes, well done. Well done, because that's a really good ending. Yeah. There's so much to unpack here, I don't know what to say. Should we get on to the bad points before I move on with the Gush Fest? So some more bad. The dialogue at points was cringe-inducing. Particularly the flirtatious dialogue between the two masters. I didn't mind the dancing, but when it was like, hold me, kiss me, and it was like, whoa, that's wrong on so many levels. It was not comfortable to watch. And when Missy had the master up against the wall, and he said, oh, is it wrong to? Yes, very wrong. And it's like, what the hell? What the... No. And the line, Heather's line at the end, when it was, I can fly anything. I can even fly you. Not sure that quite works. And also the bit when Bill was talking to the doctor, and she just sort of says, oh, you know how I like women and usually people of my own age? Just thought you should know that, and then walks off. That was literally my complaint with the Eaters of Light, of Bill shoving that in your face all the time. And she literally says, just thought you should know that. So that was a nice scene as well, but like I don't know, I would have cut those bits of dialogue out, and the scenes would have worked fine. Like, you had just have Bill say, how can you fly a TARDIS? Oh, I'm a pilot, I can fly anything. Move on. Have Missy say, oh, keep this DMAT circuit on you all the time. Master, oh yeah, you have me to thank for that, you know, move on. There are bits that you could easily just sort of chop from the scene and have it run smoother. But, nitpicking. Also, the Cybermen. Using an Auton sound effect and a really, really, really bad CG effect for a light that comes out of the headlight on their head. Didn't like it. Funnily enough, I didn't like it, and the fact that they flying as well is a big no-no. I don't know. And now they have electric arms as well. It's those were the bits I didn't like about the Mondasian Cybermen. They looked good, and the voice was spot on. Especially when they said doctors are not required. That was like spot on Cyberman voice. Also, the Master and Missy, that pairing, I feel like, especially John Sim, I feel like that was quite underused. I'm sorry to say, they were good together, but I sort of, Sim should have been in it more, definitely. He had some good lines. He had the granddad line from End of Time. Nice when he said old school and stroked his goatee. I really enjoyed that line. And he had some good bits in it, and he's laughing to his death. God, that was good. But I just feel like he should have been in it more, and that pairing probably should have got their own story, rather than having a Cyberman one and a Two Masters one at the same time. I don't know, just feel like that probably would have been more focused. That's it for the bulk of the negatives, I think. I mean, the rest that I would have would be so minor, I can't think of them now, so they can't be that major anyway. Gush Fest. Where to begin? I'll tell you my favourite scene. Probably my favourite scene, the whole series. In fact, probably behind or tied with Bill entering the TARDIS from the pilot, is when it's the Two Masters and the Doctor, and he's giving that speech and he's saying, right, let's have this out once and for all. Do you know why I do this? I don't do it because I want to beat someone. I don't do it because I hate someone. I do it because it's kind. It's just that. Oh my god, that was so great. And the fact that there was no music and you just had the raw Capaldi, the raw force of Peter Capaldi in that scene and his performance. Wow, just, Jesus, man. He was great in this. He was absolutely bloody brilliant, wasn't he? That whole smoke alarm? Oh, my house isn't on fire. There we go again. Is that? Okay, I'm just gonna. Yeah, okay. Someone's cooking in the kitchen. Just gonna ignore that. But that whole scene, bloody hell, just the no music, proper. It felt like something from a movie, and the whole the dialogue was fantastic. What the Doctor was saying, I loved it so much. And then it's just crushing at the end when the Master goes, "Do you see his face? This is the face of someone who didn't listen to a word you just said and walked off." Crushing. Seriously crushing. Because what the Doctor was saying was like, oh, I'm doing it. These people, these people will die if I don't do anything, and they might not live for long, but it's worth a try. I'm doing it because it's the right thing, and it's kind, and it's decent. I'm going to be watching that scene so many times. I've watched this episode 3 times already. It's bloody good, wasn't it? And then at the end, Missy starts crying, and it's just like, at that point, you just want them to be together. Not in that way, but you just want Missy to stand with the Doctor, and she does at the end, and he'll never know because she's dead. Oh, well done, Steve. Please, well done. I know I sound like one of those fangirls on Tumblr gushing over this character stuff at the moment, but it was genuinely good character stuff and genuinely satisfying to watch. And good God, let's talk about the ending. So after Bill and Heather have gone off in that beautiful CG shot of that big sort of gorgeous blue ball thing, they walk off out the TARDIS and he's on his own, he's on the floor. I half expected, you know, in the End of Time when he says goodbye to Rose and it's triumphant music, and then suddenly you hear and you hear this like sort of dark foreboding like whistling music coming in as Tennant sort of clutches his chest and comes to the ground because he's regenerating. I half expected that to start playing, and the tear again, cycling right back to the pilot. A lovely cyclical overarching theme of the series is the tears giving hope, and the tear on his head from Bill sort of slowly starts to fizzle out into regeneration energy, and you hear Doctor, 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 and he gets up like Legopolis, and he has all his all the modern companions saying Doctor to him, and then at the end Missy does it, and he gets up like Legopolis and he starts saying the older Doctor's quotes. He says, Sontarans perverting the course of human history. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And then something I noticed on the second and third watches, when he gets up and says Matt Smith's ending line, when he says, when the Doctor was me, he sort of does a Matt Smith mannerism, like he holds his hands out and goes like that. That's a very Matt Smith thing to do. He's when the Doctor was me, and he's saying, I don't want to change, which I don't really think he has that much of a reason to not want to change. But it was a good scene, and he's stopping the regeneration, and he steps out into the snow, cycling back to the first part of World Enough and Time, and he plunges his hand into the snow, and the regeneration energy stops, and it smokes up, and then you hear, no, I will not change. No, 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 the whole thing's ridiculous, dear me. And as soon as I heard that, I thought, David Bradley? Is it? I knew it was. I didn't even need to wait for it to be revealed, because I knew you just hear, who's that? Who's that? I'm the Doctor. No, no, no. No, no, dear me, no. You see, I am the Doctor. You may be a Doctor, but I'm the Doctor. The original, you might say. And then it ends, and now it's 5 months till Christmas. And it's bloody hell. David Bradley's the first Doctor. I'm like, I love Adventure in Space and Time. I'm not convinced yet about David Bradley's ability to play the first Doctor. He's a brilliant actor. He's bloody great, isn't he? He's been in so many things, but like, yeah, I'm excited. Let's do it. Christmas, multi-Doctor story. First Doctor and the 12th Doctor. I have a feeling it will be about them both trying to ease each other into their regenerations and feel comfortable about regenerating, and we'll have our new Doctor. That whole last scene is just so satisfying to watch, and it's just, oh, I love it. It's great. Another awesome moment when he's running through the forest. Telos, I sealed you in your ice tombs, and it blows up. There's explosions everywhere. Cybermen going everywhere. Planet 14, Canary Wharf, Voga, and it's so awesome. And then the bit that moved me close to tears was when he got shot and he was like, ah! And I thought, no, I'm really, like, just now I'm really starting to see that Capaldi's going, and it's making me sad. And it's like, and he goes, oh, I'm the Doctor. And the Sideman goes, doctors are not required. And he goes, no, I am not a doctor. I am the Doctor. And it's just like, it's emotional saying of the line, I am the Doctor. And he gets shot again and he's down on the ground. And that whole scene when he blows himself up, and it's just like, stars. And it's just like, he wants Missy to be there with him and see the stars. And I'm just like, oh God, this is bloody good. Safe to say I really enjoyed it, and the whole episode was a very Magnificent Seven feel. I liked the kids, although they weren't the best of actors. It was basically like Magnificent Seven trying to protect this small group of people from this army that are coming, and they know they can't win. The Doctor even says, we know this isn't... You can tell throughout the whole episode, he knows this is not going to be a battle he's going to win easily. He knows people are going to die. And yeah, and it was bloody brilliant. I'll tell you what, that was absolutely fantastic. One thing, why is the Doctor regenerating? Because we see him regenerating when he... Because, like, I'd be alright if it was from the explosion, which you could argue it is, but we see him doing that, like, when the Sideman shoots him, again, I'd be alright with that, and he plunges his hand into the dirt and his hand starts glowing. But he was doing that earlier when he was walking with Bill. He puts his hand on the tree and it starts glowing, and I'm like, okay, well, he got hurt bad before, and he's with the electricity from the Sidemen, but that's a kind of a weak death for that to be happening. I don't know, it just seems weird for me. But But yeah, Doctor 4 is going to wrap this up quickly. I could go on forever about one more thing before I wrap this up, because this is getting really long now. But the direction and the cinematography and the look of this episode, it felt so cinematic. I watched it on iPlayer and obviously the standard HD broadcast. It looked amazing both times. The direction was fantastic, even just little things. Again, the choices having no music in certain scenes, just having the raw audio of it, just, cementing the hardness of it. Just simple things like that. And the whole look and feel and the colour palette, the drained colour palette of it, and this whole army of Cybermen, it looked amazing, and I cannot wait for the Blu-ray, because obviously the Blu-ray is higher quality than both iPlayer and a HD broadcast. I think it'll look amazing, to be honest. So yeah, I could go on forever about how bloody incredible I think this episode is. I've seen some people who didn't like it, which is fine, of course. Again, opinions are opinions. If everyone had the same opinion, stuff would be boring. So, if you didn't like it, that's fine, but I personally loved it. So yeah, what did you think? What did you think of the series? I believe it's been a pretty fan-dabby-dozy series. Not amazing, I don't think, because you had that sort of slump in the middle with the Monk trilogy, and you had a few shit ones like Smile I didn't like, Heaters of Light was a bit meh, and obviously the Monk trilogy, but the series overall has been pretty solid. So yeah, what did you think of the series and the finale? What's your favourite episode from it? Comment below. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care now.